Your ambition will determine how much you make, but your character will determine whether or not you can keep it. We got to continue to work on ourselves. We got to continue to work on becoming more than we work on attaining. One thing I talked about was the difference between new money and old money. Right? New money is very flashy. I don't want that to be our organization. All of a sudden you start making some money, you're buying watches and cars and you're buying all these things that are super flashy. And there's nothing wrong with liking those things. There's nothing wrong with wanting those things. But if it puts you in a bad spot when you're trying to build your business, that's not a smart or intelligent thing. We got to think in the very beginning, as I increase my revenue, as I increase my profits, I got to take these profits and I got to deploy that capital back into my business to help me scale even faster. And I'm so glad that I did it. People don't realize I bought my first Rolex last year. After 12 years of being in the industry, or 10 years at the time, I literally bought my first Rolex then. It wasn't about that. The watch doesn't make me. This doesn't determine my identity. I determine my identity. The problem is most people attach their identity to items and material and their money. They think, oh, because I don't have income, I don't have value. Or I don't have the car, I don't have value. Or I don't have the watch, I don't have value. And I want you to know you do have value. And those things don't make you, you make those things. You don't need to be flashy. Just be the best version of you. Let's go from new money to old money. Let's be operating in net worth, income thinking to net worth thinking. Income is temporary. Net worth becomes permanent. And some of us are so short-term focused, we're thinking about income that we forget about net worth. And that's the true sign of success. Anybody can rent a house. Did you buy it? We want to help you become financially stable in all areas, and that comes down to financial discipline. We got to go from existing to living. Don't get so caught up building a business that you forget to enjoy it. I did that for years, where I felt like I wasn't allowed to enjoy myself because I didn't deserve it yet. I can't enjoy this. I can't enjoy building this business. I can't. And I did that time and time again. The problem is I became miserable for many years trying to build this business because I didn't think I was allowed to enjoy it along the way. And that doesn't mean you should go play basketball on a Tuesday like Josh and Danny and Mike told the story yesterday. Okay? There's a time and place. But what it does mean is you got to enjoy the journey. I had this conversation with our leadership team on Friday night. And we always talk about what's more valuable or what's more important, the journey or the destination. And people say the destination, some people will say the journey. And in my opinion, it's the company. Because I could be on an awful journey with incredible people, and that journey seems pretty incredible. And I could be on the beach of Oceanside with miserable people, and the beach becomes miserable. We got to and learn to enjoy it along the way. And part of that comes down to you immersing yourself into the soil and surrounding yourself with your brothers and sisters in this room and say, you know what? We're all on the same journey together. We're all going in the same direction together. And what most of us do is we're hanging out with people that have a common past and not a common future. And it doesn't mean that these people are bad. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't love these people. But what it does mean, if they're not going in the same direction, they might not be good for you right now. And one of the decisions that we might need to make is to choose to isolate ourselves from what we used to be and step into what we can be and start hanging around people that are going in a similar direction. Are you guys with me on this? We got to go from living a life of fear to walking in faith. I was so fearful when I came into this business. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid to talk to people. Guys, I had 72 absences per semester in high school because I had an anxiety attack every single day. I was homeschooled up until 8th grade. And then I got thrown into high school, and the level of social anxiety that I got was through the roof. And I ended up literally in the nurse's office every single day. Every single day I ended up in the nurse's office. Why? I was living in fear. I was always thinking, what is everyone thinking about me? I've never been in an environment like this before. I couldn't stop thinking about what everyone else was thinking about me. The problem is when you're constantly thinking about what everyone else thinks of you, your confidence goes away. Your social anxiety increases. Your happiness disappears. And the craziest part is all they're thinking about is what you're thinking about them. Ain't that something? I'm like, what does Brett think about me? And all Brett's thinking about is what I'm thinking about him, and everyone's just thinking about each other, and nobody gets anywhere. That doesn't sound like a good place to be, does it? No! We got to go from living in fear to walking in faith. If you have a gut feeling, trust it. If you have a gut feeling, trust it. My wife will tell you, thank you for supporting me all these years, my love. I just have this this voice that goes off in my head that just says, send it. Anybody else have it? Gordon, like I know you do backflips on a dirt bike, so I know you feel that. I just have this voice that goes off and that says, send it. Anybody else have that voice? No? Yeah, here's the deal. You might have the voice, but you might not trust the voice. You got to learn to trust that voice. Just trust it. Just freaking send it. Just send it, dude. Like, just send it. Can we do that? Like, I just want you to know, your creator does not operate in worry, doubt, fear, and anxiety. So when you feel worry, doubt, fear, and anxiety, that is the purest sign that you're exactly where you need to be. That is the purest sign that you're going down the right path. Think about it. If you were your enemy and you were going down the wrong path, wouldn't you make it easier for your enemy to continue down that path? Yes. So when you experience friction, doubt, worry, anxiety, fear, these are all the emotions that says, I'm exactly where I need to be. I need to send it. I need to make that call. I need to do that appointment. I need to talk to that person. I need to invest that dollar. I need to do what I need to do. That is the purest sign that we got to do what we got to do. Can we do that? We got to go from attaining to becoming. Most people are so focused on attaining, not realizing that the only way to attain is to first become. Like you look at the leaders that are sitting in the VIP seating up here. They didn't focus on attaining, they focused on becoming. What they built chased them because they focused on becoming. We got to go from operating out of memory to possibility. Do you know what we tend to do? We tend to use our past as a measuring stick for our future. We tend to look at what we've done and use it as an indicator for what we can do. It's irrelevant. We look at our past and say, you know what? And I'm not deserving because of this, or I made this mistake, or man, I looked at my last month and my last month was awful, so hopefully this month is a little bit better. And we just operate out of memory. The problem with memory is it's so discouraging. And we got to get rid of the thought of I'm operating out of memory and step into the thought of what's possible. What's possible? They asked Elon Musk, they said, hey, just curious, like what's your strategy for execution and building together? Like what does it look like? He says, what I look at, I say, okay, what is my 10-year goal? And then I ask myself, how do I get it done in the next 12 months? He's not operating out of reality. He's operating out of possibility. It's possible. Now, how do we take that possibility and take our 10-year goal and inject it into a 12-month window? And lastly, we got to go from success to greatness. Success is what you do for you. Greatness is what you do for other people. When you're on your deathbed, people are not going to be thinking about, oh my gosh, Bobby Rojo had an awesome house. You know what they're going to be thinking about? Bobby Rojo was there for me when nobody was. Bobby Rojo picked me up when I was down. Mike Austria had my back. Miriam went above and beyond for me each and every single day. At my lowest moment, Josh was there for me. My marriage is better because of Mike and Helena. I'm a better parent to my children. You guys with me? That's what people are going to be thinking about. They're not going to be thinking about any of those things. That's success. That's for you. Greatness is what you do for other people. And I want to make sure that we're thinking about greatness. Guys, we're the most highly compensated industry in the world. That's awesome. But none of that matters if we don't have the morals and values and the principles to keep it. Your ambition will determine how much you make, but your character will determine whether or not you can keep it. We got to continue to work on ourselves. We got to continue to work on becoming more than we work on attaining. Can we make that commitment? Let's get it. 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 Yeah.